What is up, ladies and gents, Ghost here. Hope you all had a cracking weekend. For me personally, I was working most of it, but a lot of interesting things happened this weekend, not the least in the world of Battlefield. We've been seeing a lot of new content on Dragon's Teeth, and of course some interesting things have been happening in Europe with Eurovision. So for any of you Americans out there, or people from other parts of the world who don't know what that is, it's pretty much a song contest where everybody's ridiculously silly, prances around on stage wearing beards and God knows what, and it's pretty ridiculous. If anybody saw the winning song, it was this lady or man in this picture here. I have no idea, to be honest. Even the commentators on the show didn't know whether to call it him or her, so I think the reason this won mainly is because people out there were just like, yes, I embrace transsexuality and bisexuality, and yes, I support this, even though it was, of course, a pretty crap song. Well, that said, it wasn't that crap a song. It was an alright song compared with the rest of the bunch. But in all seriousness, Eurovision isn't really about great songs. You know, a lot of people from England say, why do you watch Eurovision? It's so shit, the songs are rubbish, which is completely true. But on the other hand, it's just really about having a laugh at the people on stage, isn't it? Let's be honest. So as mentioned earlier in the video, a lot of new information has been obtained, shall we say, about Dragon's Teeth over this past weekend, and I don't know about you guys, but my subbox has been absolutely full of it. Information, that is to say, of course, and the least of which is new vehicles, new weapons, and even some new contradictory dog tags that have got people talking quite a bit. So first off, we are of course going to be getting a new vehicle in Dragon's Teeth, which has lovingly been given the name Wally by the community. I think it's also called Mars, spelt with 2 A's, which kind of reminds me of some sort of exploration drone that they would send and drop on a planet like Mars, for example. But the main difference here is that this one has a minigun mounted on it. It can also have a 3-shot grenade launcher on there. And a gadget we're also going to be getting is, of course, the Riot Shield. Now, I find these two gadgets particularly interesting, and before I say this, look at this guy here. This guy's bailing out. Now, let this be a lesson to anybody who bails out of jets, because this will end up happening to you. Beware. Anyway, guys, sorry, bailers, so annoying. Now, taking a look at the previous gadgets that DICE have thrown at us over the past 3 DLCs, they've really just been a load of fluff and nothing important. I mean, the last DLC was a prime example, the 3-shot grenade launcher, the anti-air mine. It was just a load of fluff, man, and I think part of the reason they did this is because they didn't want to unbalance the game and create any more problems by putting a gadget in there that everybody would want to use. However, this time around, with getting the Riot Shield as well as our new best friend Wally, or worst enemy, depending on whether you're on the giving or receiving end, I think they're both going to lend themselves very well to the gameplay of this new expansion. So far, it looks like it's going to be something very similar size-wise to Close Quarters or maybe Aftermath, the DLCs from Battlefield 3. And if that is the case, this Riot Shield looks like it is about to be something very, very useful in those kind of situations. So you can imagine if you have a group of enemies around a corner that are all grenading the entrance, you know, imagine Operation Locker here, okay? Everybody's nading a doorway, everybody's peeking round. Imagine having one Riot Shield. In that situation, you can have one person on your team to push through and create some cover, stop the grenade spam from killing everybody, and have your friends funnel around the side and get a flank on. Now imagine Wally coming in there and wrecking things up as well. It doesn't even bear thinking about, does it? On top of that, of course, we're getting a handful of new weapons, 2 pistols, one of which is the Deagle, which is obviously a fan favourite, especially from games like Counter-Strike, so I'm pretty sure there's nobody out there who is unpleased with getting the Deagle in Battlefield 4. I'm not even sure if any Battlefield game has had it to date, but what can I say? What is there to say? Awesome news, Deagle awesomeness. Anyway, we're also getting another pistol that goes by the name of the Matiba Unica 6, which appears to be a revolver of some sort or another. I'm not too well versed on weapons, so I don't really know much about this one. But this is going to take the number of high damaging pistols up to 5, along with having the MP412 Rex, the 44 Magnum, and of course the new SW40. So we're going to have 5 high-powered weapons now as sidearms compared to the 2 that we had in Battlefield 3. So an interesting choice by DICE there. We're also, of course, getting a new assault rifle, the SRSS Bulldog, which is going to fire the 7.62 round, which will presumably have the same high damage model that the Scar H has, at 34 max damage dropping off to 25. So I also really like this one, because currently I believe the Scar H is the only weapon that fires that round. Then we have the SIG MPX, which seems to be most likely a PDW of some sort. And then we're also getting a new sniper rifle, the Macmillan CS5, which seems to have a crazy rate of fire. I think it may even top the Gold Magnum. So as for the maps in this DLC, apparently the names have now been confirmed as Sunken Dragon, Propaganda, Pearl Market, and Lupini Garden. Now here's an image that somebody on Reddit found of Lupini Garden. This is of course a real place in the world and it looks absolutely beautiful. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Metro with a little bit of water there and the fact that it's based around some sort of a park-like area. But of course I don't think they're going to make it play out like Metro. There is a building over there on the right side, so it's going to be interesting to see whether we can go inside that building, whether that building will be there at all or not. And I'm really looking forward to seeing the rest of these maps and just how similar they're going to be to Close Quarters, because Close Quarters was without a doubt one of my favourite DLCs in BF3. Even though it was Close Quarters action, it wasn't like Metro or Operation Locker. It was well thought out, there were great flanking routes, and it was incredibly fun. It really felt like whenever I jumped from a Conquest large game in Caspian Border, for example, over to Close Quarters DLC, I felt like I was playing an entirely new game, and it was really a refreshing change of pace. Now finally, some new dog tags have been found in the game files that will be achievable presumably within Dragon's Teeth, and on a couple of them, they seem to have some sort of aliens or flying saucers, and even a nuclear warhead exploding. So a lot of people are wondering whether the Levolution in one of these maps is going to be a nuke going off, and what's with the alien stuff, because as we all know, DICE are into these weird Easter eggs with, what have we had so far? Yetis, T-Rexes, Megatalons. I mean, you know, what could be next? Aliens? Yeah, I guess so. Suppose it could be. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to give you guys my thoughts. No doubt you've already heard all of this information, but nevertheless, I thought you might want to hear my thoughts on it, and I would love to hear your thoughts down below. I am quite looking forward to this DLC. We don't really know all too much about it, but there should be a trailer coming out, according to DICE, within the next week or so. So as always, thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!